Alright, welcome back. I'm going to do some more Paydirt reviews. I know at the last one I told y'all I wasn't sure. Let me put this here to show y'all. If I was going to keep reviewing eBay sellers because they keep closing before I can even get to review them, and it kind of defeats the purpose because no one's going to be buying from them if, you know, they're closed. So, and this is one of the ones I had bought that quickly soon after closed and is no longer a registered eBay user. But when I was looking at it, I was just going to pan it on my own and not review it, but, you know, found some nice little silver pickers, you know, some silver nuggets in there. So I figured, you know, and then I Googled them because I was trying to see if they had scammed anyone or what it was, reason they had closed. And I guess they were opening their own website. At this date, they still haven't opened it, even though they were supposed to have. But, you know, I can tell you from experience, it doesn't always go as planned when you're opening a website, so, or trying to maintain them. So, you know, I'll do the review, and I will update my website if he actually opens up his website so you can get a link to it. But his eBay seller ID was HighFeverPayDirt. His website is HighFeverPayDirt.com, and you know, I got the 8 pounds. And it was, what was it called? It was, I have to look at 8-pound Paydirt bag, black sands, platinum fines, and silver nuggets. So we shall see. This will be trying to keep my videos down nice and neat to about the 15-minute mark. So what I'm going to do is, you know, I'm going to screen this down into a couple different. I might run it through the 100 mesh too, because there seem to be a lot of little fines in here. You know, little rocks, and just to clean it up so I can just hit the pay dirt. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to clean this up. I'll come back with the pans, start showing you what's come out of it. But it was 8 pounds. I weighed it up. The bags had broken inside the shipment, which was a pain, so I couldn't take a picture of what they looked like bagged, but they were essentially triple bagged. The seller had them in a plastic bag. Then they wrapped those inside of another giant, there was, I think, 4 bags. Each one was 2 pounds. And then they wrapped those inside of another plastic bag, and then they put those inside of a Priority Mail envelope, the Tyrex ones or whatever. So, you know, nothing leaked out. It was just a pain, and, you know, the bags were busted, so I didn't take a picture of the bags. But I weighed it up, and it was 8 pounds, and I think 3 ounces total. So let me go and sort these out and see what we got, and I'll be right back for y'all. All right, we are back. I separated HighFeverPayDirt. So all the rocks and nice big stuff. A lot of them. Yeah, probably a good 2 pounds of it was rocks. Then a lot of dirt. I mean, it's just massive quantities of dirt, and this stuff is dry. You run your fingers so you can feel it sucking the moisture out of you. I don't. Now again, this eBay seller closed shop, so I don't know where this Paydirt is from. You know, it's shipped from California, so maybe that's where it's from. I don't. You know, I'll try to look it up and put it on my website if I can find the details of it. Go through these rocks real quick just to see if any more nuggets, anything. Nothing that. Yeah. And as always, I will pan this another time. Pretty looking rocks. But nothing of any value. Let's side. Pan those again later. Pan twice, pan 3 times. Get as much as you can. That's how, you know. I always pan inside of another pan, so if something happens, I can repan this as opposed to, you know, if I see a nugget fall in or something, you know, it's much easier to repan this into the main than it is pulling the whole main out to get that one little thing. And it'll happen. It doesn't happen that often, but every once in a while you'll just hit the water just right and it'll scoop something up you don't want it to scoop, and it'll put it where you don't want to put it. So this just makes it easier. You know, run a little bit. Usually I'll run whatever I'm panning twice. So if I fill this up twice, I'll take it out and dump it into another little side pan, just 2. And then when I pan that a second time, I'll leave it in the bottom. Nuggets, you know, then the rocks I discard, garbage or landscaping or however I can. The Paydirt I save. All Paydirt I save until it is a Miller table, just for the fun of it. Never really find anything, but the kids really love it. I don't know why. They refuse to. They don't like the panning, but they love that Miller table. One of these days I'll have to build them like a mini sluice or something. They'll probably love that. Well, there we go. See, I almost got that one. It's nice and flat, so it's trying to wiggle its way to the bottom. So we'll put this on the side. But you see, that makes it much easier. If it would have escaped me, it's much easier just to grab it out of this thing knowing it's in here as opposed to all of them. So that was a nice little, it's been a while since I've gotten a really flat one. You know, usually, well, I don't want to say it's a nugget, it's a nice picker though. You know, if you can pick it up by your fingers, it's a picker to me. You know. Wait a second. Pan this down, and I'll pan a little bit of the sands for you just to see how they do. And then, as usual, I'll pause it and come back with just what's left, the little black sands and whatever might be in there. Yeah, this is going to be some tough Paydirt if that was the only little nugget I got. It's supposed to have 1 to 2 grams of gold in it, so if that was the only little picker, and it all went through some mesh, so it'll be a long day of panning. Well, so that was that. That nugget ain't gonna weigh a gram. I wasn't even thinking to weigh a 1/10 of a gram, but so let me start doing. Looks out of there. Get the go-getter juice in there. Gotta use that. All right. Let us get some Paydirt and start seeing if there's anything in here. Do 2.5. This stuff is really fun. See what it does to the water. Doesn't seem to be muddying it up too much. Usually when you get the really dry stuff, it just turns that water black. Well, there you go, it's turning it. Getting that nice brown soup going. And a lot of times what I'll do, a little trick I do, just to keep my water, since I do only really pan inside of this pan, is I'll pour off this is a really dark water just to get that junk out of there so I don't muddy this up. That's about one of the few tricks I can teach you. I'm an old dog, so I don't learn very many new tricks. But see how this one goes, and then I'll pawn. I'm seeing a lot of black sands already, so that's good. Last eBay seller, if y'all remember, had almost no black sand. I had a little bit, but I don't know the royal on it. But it ended up being, but you know, I had a little bit of gold in it. No pickers and nothing like that. So far this one I got some silver nuggets and one little bitty gold picker. Let's just see if there's anything in those first 2 spoonfuls. It doesn't look like, well, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little bit of gold fines, and this is going to be a long panning. So we'll add one more scoop, maybe 2. We'll do these, then I'll pause it. How about that? So y'all can see. Muddy up my water too much. And by pouring it off like this, just make sure you're really just only pouring off the water. So it's always good to make sure you've got your soap in there, your go-getter juice, or whatever you're going to be using. And then it keeps this water more clean, but then later on when I dump out when I second pan this in a few minutes, you know what I'll do is, once I finish this, I'll probably repan this. And then I keep doing it like that. I'll fill this up 2 to 3 times, get it in here, then I'll repan this. And then by then, this water will have settled. So when I refill this up, it won't be so murky, you know? And it just makes it a lot easier to pan the cleaner your water is. And then you can always change your water too, you know. Where we live, we have some of the highest water rates in the country. So I try not to change my water out too much, you know. Just hate paying for it, so. You know, then they get you because we got a separate sewer bill, and they got the highest rates in the country as well. So you know, get you twice. You know, but like I said, a lot of black sands in this. So this is gonna be an all-day one, which is good. You know, gives me have some fun all day. Let's see if we got anything now. Yeah, see, it's starting to couple little bigger little flakes. So, and a lot of little small ones. It just looks like there's going to be a lot of fines in this thing. This would definitely be a fun one to run on the Miller table, but until I get mine all back up, I'm going to put it back together for a review. Since we moved, I haven't used it. So I will be putting it back together to do a review on it. And when I do that, I have some things I want to fix on it to make it a better Miller table. And then I'll review it again a second time with my improvements. So personally, I would tell people to build your own Miller table, but you know, that's a different subject. We'll get to that one later. So what I'm gonna do though is I'm gonna head off and pan this all out, and I'll come back and we're down to just the black sands and get you to see what I see when it comes out. All right, we're back. HighFeverPayDirt, all cleaned down to just the black sands. Little blonde still left. And this was some doozy, 8 pounds, just for this much flex. And let me tell you, I'm not a big fan of buying the really big bags. I'd rather buy, you know, a 2-pound bag with just as much gold than an 8-pound. You know, it's just so much work to get through 8 pounds for the same payoff. And from what I've seen of this, I think I'm going to be very disappointed with it. It's supposed to be 1 to 2 grams, and I'm just not seeing it. I'm not even seeing 1 gram. You know, clean up some of this with the magnet real carefully. So, I always put it in another pan, you know, just to I referred to before as one of my favorite finishing pans, and this is it. This gold just sticks to this. Unfortunately, it's got one little nick in it. I don't know what happened. I need to sand it out, but it catches everything. It's not gold. Nothing in there. Get a little bit more. Do a couple this time. But I saw a couple flakes. The picker I pulled before, I put it back in here so everything would be in one pan. I saw a couple little bitty, you know, flakes. Maybe, you know, might be able to be a picker. They weren't as big as the other one I showed y'all, but. It's just not seeing a gram. I mean, I saw almost no superfines, and I used a lot of getter juice just to make sure I wasn't missing anything and nothing was floating. I repanned it a second time, saw nothing. So then I repanned it a third time just because. I mean, I just wasn't seeing anything, you know. And, you know, I'm just really hoping this isn't why the guy closed his shop up, you know, because he was just a bunk seller. But, I mean, it's better than empty, you know. 4 hours of panning, at least something is better than nothing, you know. Double check this stuff just to make sure I'm not picking up any gold with the magnet. It's a problem with magnets. They love black sand. They will snag some gold. Sand, which is good. I will even go over this a second time after I turn off the video just to make sure I didn't get anything I wasn't supposed to get. I cleaned up the water earlier, so anything I drop in there I can repan. It's just this finishing stuff going to be in this water right now. I already pulled all the dirt out and put it in its bucket for future miller tabling. So let's get this down. getting there. As you can see, I mean, you're seeing what I'm seeing. Not much in the way of gold, you know. That's pretty much what I'm seeing. And that, you know, that's the last Paydirt I did was fine gold, and it was probably about that much, maybe a little bit less, but it cost me a whopping $10.50 plus $5.90 in shipping. It was U.S. Karoq or something like that from eBay. This one was $63.08. It was an auction. They usually were selling it for, I think, 80 bucks. And, you know, I thought I did a good job getting it for 63 when they were normally, I was going to buy it because I'm not a big fan of bidding. You know, I just usually buy it and be done with it. But it just so happened to be ending in about 5 minutes from when I looked, so I said, you know, I'll try my luck and bid. And it's not looking like my luck was very good. Looking like we might have a pretty bad run on this, but you know, we'll save it. We'll see in the final end. You never know. I've been surprised before. You know, gold is pretty surprising. You know, sometimes you'll have this big pile of finds that weigh nothing, and you'll have 1 or 2 nuggets that weigh a ton, and then like 3 or 4 nuggets that weigh nothing. You know. It goes down here. Check that out, see, make sure I'm not getting anything I'm not supposed to get. Kind of rushing this because I'm tired, my back's hurting. No, now we'll repan this. I probably won't write this one up till tomorrow. Take the pictures of it, so I'm tired and it's getting late. Bars. Again, I'm just, you know, as I go through this pile, I'm just not seeing a whole lot. Nothing to make me jump up for joy, that's for sure. And I'm getting some gold, so that's good. So, I grabbed a piece of that one. But as you can see, getting it pretty down and not a lot of color showing, just not a lot. But you know what you're going to do. It's part of the fun, you know? It's the hunt. Some days you're a winner, some days you're a loser. And you hope there's more winners than losers. Well, I might have got some because I moved the magnet a little over than I wanted to, but nope. Nothing in there. Just black sand. Alright, here we go. Always use a lot of pans. It'll help. Trying to do everything with 1 or 2 pans, you'll see. You'll be pulling your wife's china out and Tupperware and everything else, and then she'll give you the evil eye. And you tell her you want to buy more Paydirt, she'll evil eye even more. So buy lots of pans. I'm a huge fan of the Martin pans. Mostly is. I have some other ones is I'll buy cheap ones just for holders, or, you know. So I'm gonna have to pan some of this down because it's getting to the point where it's not magnetic. I think what I'm going to do is let's try one more. Get some more of this black sand out. Might have to switch up pans. Start using my other finishing pan. Go really quick. These rocks are just hard to get out. So let's try it. Let's clean this one up, and I'm just going to switch pans to knock this out. Make sure I didn't get nothing. I'm not seeing nothing. No sparkle. Nothing. So let's just swap pans out and definitely have to double check this. Me slopping stuff around. Getting a little tired, so I'm starting to go a little too fast. Make a little bit of movements I'm not trying to make. Well, that's what happens, you know. That's why, like I always say, I'll say it again. Double pan, double check. Always keep a pan underneath you. Makes it a lot easier. This way I don't have to, if my pan under here was still full of all the original dirt, it'd be a monster mess to try and find a little piece of something you might have dropped. You know, you don't want to have to repan the whole 8 pounds right after you finished, you know. Just because you see something go by you. You know, this way if I see something go in, or if you make some stupid mistake like, you know, shaking your pan a little too hard or something like that, and if you splash some water on. You can just come back and check this. It just wants to come out, so I'm going to take it out for now. Those flat ones are a pain in the butt. And those are the ones that the old cube even has a hard time getting a hold of. Flat ones just want to glide over everything and just get back in the water. Well, looks like we're getting there. Show y'all what I got in a second. Go through this, make sure nothing And again, this is HighFeverPayDirt. Was an eBay seller. No longer eBay seller. You're supposed to have a new website opening. HighFeverPayDirt.com. I have more info about all this on my website. But I'm just going to go through this real quick just to show you what it looks like I got. Then I'm going to end this. And I'm actually going to finish cleaning this tomorrow. I'm going to post the video. I'm getting tired and starting to make mistakes. But there we go. Definitely not 1 to 2 grams. Maybe a half. But you never know. You know, like I said, you'll see. Just go to the website, goldpaydirtreviews.com, and I'll have his link, all the other links. There'll be a link underneath this straight to his review. So keep on panning. You see the gold trying to get down in there. All flat. Little bitty ones. I should be putting it in a bottle, but like I said, we need to be doing this tomorrow. Alright guys, peace out and thanks.